Hi, my name is Muhammad Inayat bin Asri, and today we're going to present about Malaysia's solutions and outcomes towards handling its citizen databases. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about MyGDX, which allows government agencies to better communicate with each other through a seamless data sharing ecosystem. But however, I want to preface first Malaysia's challenge in handling its own data management. The lack of proper data management across several government agencies has caused data sharing to be wildly inefficient due to them being separate and disconnected. This isn't even including the fact of the several different legacy systems that they're using, which in turn makes interagency collaboration very difficult. This in turn has tanked even evidence-based policymaking because the lack of centralized oversight means for getting evidence to even make the policies to begin with is nigh impossible. Now, regarding the poster, we had the workload split up between the four of us. We all chipped in to find references for our points, but since since not all of us were exactly that savvy with design, only one of us did the poster design while the rest of us just keyed in the points. Anyways, moving on to solutions. Malaysia's implementation of MyGDX, specifically MyGX 2.0, is essentially one big data sharing ecosystem where agencies can input and manipulate data from wherever within the country. This solves the problem of data silos across agencies not being up to date with each other and allows streamlining for better integration across platforms. MyGDX is developed on three principles, that being assent, safety, and value. MyGDX makes sure the data shared is only what's needed and consented. So, say we have a second value, 2 of 0. If we never put this in the database, computer 2 will never get that value. So, you need to say you want to put this new data into the database before it can go into the other computers. And another thing is safety. Say we have another third computer, computer C, which is like a malicious hacker that's trying to hack into MyGDX. They don't have the right clearance because they're not part of like the MyG. They don't have the agency's API. That'll be got into in a later part of this presentation. So they can't access the cloud to access the database. So they're basically just out of luck. This is because of MyGDX's up-to-date cybersecurity protocols, and this in turn provides value to both the people and the nation, because the increased streamlining of the data means that policymakers will get much more data than usual. As you can see here, this truck is dumping all of the new data from across the country onto this one single policymaker. Poor thing, but don't worry, that's what he wants. Because now, with all this evidence, he can make better policies and in turn make the nation a better place.
My name is Kou Zixuan, and I'm going to present about agencies using APIs to share data to ensure secure data access through authentication and verification system. Look at this picture. We can see a man putting out the fire. But what does it symbolize? So it is like an API eliminates security vulnerabilities using authentication and verification system. By doing so, we can ensure secure data access. To access to API provided by MyGDX platform, a user needs agency users, digital certificates, public key infrastructure, and security server. There is another interesting picture here. The kid is short and he cannot touch the switch to open the lights. This means the unauthorized users and system cannot access to API. However, the authorized users and systems, on the other hand, can get API subscription approval through the digital certificate. The digital certificate can be applied through my GPKI website. Apart from having the digital certificate, which is a component of authentication, a system needs to be verified by PKI before having the access to API. PKI is a standard for security in the modern environment. There are 5 components of PKI, which are hardware, software, people, policy, and procedures. PKI offers 3 basic security measures, which are data encryption, digital signature, and authentication. Lastly, all agencies need to have a MyGDX security server to access the API. In this architecture, we can see that before having access to database, the signal will go through the security server first. So through this gateway, we can ensure efficient data management by preventing unauthorized access and alteration of database through API.
Hello everyone, my name is Wang Jinxin. Today I will to talk about the Malaysia data sharing after 2025. First, about the arts enactment. Before the enactment of the Act, there were significant barriers to data sharing among public sectors in Malaysia. So, about this, we have one strategic demand for digital transformation to pay for public service upgrading, three balance between security and efficiencies. Then about core framework, the Act explicitly applies to data sharing among public sectors institutions at the federal level in Malaysia. About this law, sections 12 to 13, 1. Enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of policy formulation, project management, and service delivery to reduce public security risks. 3. Respond to national emergencies. 4. Support initiatives related to public interest. Then about practice value, we can enhance public service efficiency, strengthening the scientific basis of policy formulation. 3. Enhancing emergency response capabilities for laying the foundation for digital innovation. Then about challenge and outlook, core challenge. 1. We have theoretical coverage limitation, technology adaptation issues, and the last private sector collaborations. But about future development outlook, we have one phased expansion of coverage, then two technology enabled supervisions and the regional collaboration and connections.
Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Yasin Bedahlan. So today I'm going to talk about data digitalization policy, enhanced service delivery through better data quality, security, and storage. Alright, so what's this policy all about? Basically, it focuses on three main things: data quality, security, and storage. The whole idea is to make sure our data is better managed, which means we can provide better services overall. It's pretty straightforward. Better data equals better service. Let me break down the three key benefits here. So first up, better data quality. This means we can get more accurate and more consistent data across all systems. No more dealing with conflicting information or outdated stuff. Next is enhanced security. We're basically putting stronger security measures in place to protect sensitive information and make sure everything compliant with regulation. And lastly, optimized storage. This is about having more efficient storage that actually saves costs while making it easier to access data when you need it. So how does all this actually help with service delivery? Well, there are some pretty clear benefits. Things like faster response time, more accurate information for making decisions, and way fewer errors. Teams can work together better and it's easier to stay compliant with all the rules and regulations. Basically, the whole service delivery process becomes smoother and more reliable. So how do we actually make this happen? There is 5-phase plan. First, we assess what we currently have, then implement the security stuff, migrate to better storage, train everyone on the new system, and keep monitoring things to make improvement along the way. So yeah, to wrap things up, the data digitalization policy is really about using better data management to improve how we deliver service. It's all about being more efficient, more secure, and more responsive to what people need. That's it from me. Thank you.